Greetings, viewers. This is King H. I know it's been a while that I made videos, but I'm back. And this is going to be my official first video after a long period of time. And the discussion of this video has to do with what is happening in Guinea Conakry, after the coup that happened, the successful coup that happened that took down the president of Guinea. After the coup happened, European Union, United Nations, US all condemned the coup. President of Uganda condemns the coup. President of Congo condemns the coup. African Union, ECOWAS all condemned the coup. They even went further and said that they want the leaders that took part in the coup to release the president and give him back his power. But the coup was successful. One thing about coups, if it's not successful, those who are not successful in carrying out their coups are punished. Definitely death by death. But this coup was successful. And the former president of Guinea wasn't killed, wasn't punished, he's still breathing. He's not the god of Guinea. He's not the only one that has to be president in Guinea. He's been president for 2 terms. And then he decided to disrespect and dishonor the Constitution because he doesn't respect the Constitution because he thought he was above the Constitution. That was an act of coup. When you take over in the 3rd term, when you know you're supposed to do two terms, and after that you need to step down as president. But the thing is, African leaders do not respect the Constitution and always want to override the Constitution so they could stay longer in power. That act itself is a coup. And in order to stop that coup, another coup must be carried out by the military, which is what the military of Guinea did. Because the president of Guinea, he acted on, or he actually carried out a coup when he decided to overrule the Constitution. And this is what all African nations, all African military nations must do when the leaders disrespect, dishonor, abuse the Constitution of the nation, because the Constitution of the nation is supposed to represent the nation. And when people who are supposed to be leaders, who are supposed to respect the Constitution, don't respect it, well, that act itself is a coup and must be followed up by another coup in order to remove them from what they have done. And which is what the military of Guinea Conakry did. And it was beautiful. As I said, one thing about coups is making sure that they're successful. If they're not successful, there's a backfire. But this coup was successful. Now, European Union, United Nations, US, all condemning and saying that you release the president of Guinea. No, he will not be released until the proper administration, the proper government be put in place. And then he could be released as a citizen, but not the president of the nation. You see, coups in Africa will never stop. So long as European Union, United Nations, US, the Western powers are influencing the politics of Africa so that they could take advantage of the opportunities and enrich themselves while making sure that the countries or the states in Africa remain poor and deplorable. And the tactics that they use is by These African leaders who stay in power over their due term and don't want to stay and change the constitution to suit them so that they could be in power, and then they give what the Western powers need because the Western powers help them in staying in power. Man, in the United States and other Western countries, when your term is over, if you have a chance to rule over 2 year, 2 terms, which is 8 years. After the 8 years, you can stay in power, and the leaders of those countries in like US or other European countries, they respect their constitution and they do that. But when it comes to African leaders, because the Western powers help them to stay more longer in power so that they could do the bidding of the West, this is exactly what happens. We will continuously have coups. Coups in Africa would not stop. A president like the president of Uganda could say, "Oh, he will condemn the coup, or he condemned the coup in Guinea and say they should release the president." But he forgets that he came through coup. That's how he achieved. That's how he became president, by removing the former president in Uganda. He had a coup. And any leader in Africa that has been in power for more than 10 years or 2 terms and don't want to step down has actually, and it has actually, you know, initiated a coup. So if you're in power for more than 10 years and you're going for your 3rd term, changing the constitution, that itself is a coup. And it requires the nation, it requires the military of any country in Africa to remove that leader because he has committed a coup by changing the constitution or by staying in power for more than 10 years or 2 terms or more than 2 terms. A president like the president of Ivory Coast also condemns the coup that happened, but this is also his 3rd term. He changed the constitution so that he could stay in power. The African leaders do not respect and honor the constitutions of their own nation. Why should the military respect them as leaders? It's the duty of every African nation and the military to take power or take over power from the presidents who are dishonoring the constitution, who are dishonoring the land, who are dishonoring the people, who are dishonoring the continent of Africa by staying in power over 2 terms, or by changing the constitution to stay in power. The West might say whatever, but in their own nation, their law is their law and no precedent goes above it. Why is it that in Africa it is okay for a president to stay in power for 10 years, 15, 20, 30? You have President Paul Biya going close to 40 years as president. And some French Cameroonians think that is okay. No, but it's not. President Paul Biya has made sure that he has bribed all the military generals to work with him so that they won't carry out the coup. That is the duty of the other younger captains and military men to take the opportunity to have a coup and topple President Paul Biya, because he is destroying the nation and destroying the future of Cameroon. But the military of French Cameroon would rather go kill English Cameroonians or Southern Cameroonians rather than taking down President Paul Biya. They think that is easier to do, or Some of them think that's even more honorable to do than to take down President Paul Biya. But the time will come when they will have to push that old man and all those old men in government in Cameroon because they are useless and don't give a damn about the future of, of Cameroon. Only when they realize that the future is in the hands of the youths, and when the youths realize that the future is in the hands, that they have to take out President Paul Biya and his old quacks out of the government in order to create a better future. That's when they will realize the significance of a nation. But they don't. Only time will tell it when they do. But my thing of discussing this shit is basically this. Any leaders in Africa that decide to change the constitution and to rule over the third term has actually initiated a coup and must be removed through a coup. So what um, the military of Guinea did is only right because the president, the former president, initiated a coup by extending and changing the constitution to make sure that he be in power in his third term. And the Western world accepts it because, well, they get what they need from him. They get what they need from all the African countries. So they will support those who are in power to keep things moving. Only when we change the leadership through coups, through whatever method, no leader, no person has to be in power for more than 10 years. It is not right as president. It's not right. The constitution is the constitution, and it's time for African leaders to respect the constitution. And if they don't, well, the people should kick them out. That is the only key. Because no one owns a nation. No one man owns a nation. The nation is owned by the people. And when you abuse your power as the president and try to change the constitution, you have initiated a coup and must be removed through a coup. And the Western world has no say in what happens in the continent of Africa. Only when we as Africans realize that, realize our power, realize our potential, that we have the opportunity to change and influence this world one way or the other, through coups or whatever method. There's old quacks who have been in power doing whatever they want because the West pays them money while extorting so much money in Africa. And we sit and do nothing. Coups in Africa will continue so long as African leaders do not respect the constitution of the country, of the countries in Africa. So long as any African country, African president decide to change the constitution as they see fit so that they could stay in power, there will always be coups in Africa. And then one coup would lead to more coups. So all those presidents who have been in power, like President Paul Biya, who has been there for almost 40 years, or the president like the president of Uganda, who has been there for more than 30 years, who came through a coup and is still in power, thinks he can say whatever. His time is also coming because the people will rise against him. And if it's not the people, the military of Uganda will also rise against him. It doesn't matter how much people he controls or what. When his day will come, he will be toppled. Like any African leader who think that they are both the law of the land, but they are not. This is King H. Till next time.